Good morning. It is Sunday the 12th and the Bingoathon has started. I have a really busy schedule ahead of me because I'm going to my cousin's confirmation, so I don't know how much I'm going to be reading today. It is 7:30 right now. I'm going to be at church at 11. I think I said in my TV I thought it was at 9:30 because I remember my own was at like this god awful hour and it's the same church, so I don't know why I presumed. But it's not until 11, so I guess he got the later one rather than the first one. Because there's usually two sets. So it definitely means that I have a little more time, but it also means I will still need to focus on getting ready first and foremost, and then we'll see if I get to anything else. Already I woke up at 6 because I'm an A person. If you're not new to my channel, you know this. I tend to wake up quite early on weekends as well. So I did start reading something, and I've decided to add Founderside to my TBR. Even if I have started it, I'd like to calculate this as my fantasy book, like my favorite genre book. I'm on page 172 now, and when I started reading this morning, I was on page 148. So I've read like, what was it? 72. So I've read like 25 pages or something. I read for like half an hour, so that's, or 45 minutes, that's about it. But I am now on my way. I had a shower and now I'm on my way to make myself some breakfast, and then I will finish getting ready, and then we'll see how much time I have left afterwards, because I think that is how I'm going to be doing. I will leave a link up here to my original TBR so you can go and watch it. But yeah, as I said, I'm not going to get much reading in today, so today is not when I will finish anything. This is my update for now. I will talk to you again soon. Bye! Hello again. It is now almost 10, like 5 minutes to 10, and I am ready for the day ahead. I am always terrible at curling my hair, so it was a bit of a challenge, but I think I made it all right. My plan is I have 20 minutes maybe before my brother drives, so I have 20 minutes of reading, and that's it. So I'm going to I was thinking of continuing with this one and catching up to the reading that I had planned myself to read over this week. But considering I've decided to put it on my list, it doesn't necessarily have to be read right now. So instead, I'm going to possibly start up my Kindle book, because I think it's a little bit easier, quicker, I don't know, which is called Fear No Evil, I think. Wasn't it that? So I might just read that and then, oh, it went down. And then see how far I get into that. Anyway, I'll talk to you maybe tonight. I will get back to reading possibly, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm home maybe around 8 or 9 p.m. That is what I've told myself in my head. I'll probably be home at 9 because we have lunch, then we have coffee, and we have dinner as well. We have to go to. And if you didn't know, the confirmation in Denmark is like, I haven't heard anyone talk about it other places. So I don't know if it's something that's strictly to like the Nordic countries, like in Scandinavia or something, or if it's like a Lutheran type of church. Because in Denmark we are from Martin Luther's beliefs. No matter, when you turn 13 in Denmark, you are basically old enough to be viewed as an adult in the biblical sense, which I think is really early to be considered an adult. But anyway, at that time, you have your confirmation. You have to confirm your beliefs in the religion, in Christianity, in the Bible, basically. So my nephew turned 13 last year in May, and so this is his confirmation. It's always usually in the spring after your 13th birthday, or the year after the spring, the year after your turn 13. So For me, I was 13 at the time, so I'm about 14 because if they are earlier, if they have birthdays early in the year, but I'm from September, so obviously, yeah. And on the 14th, it's 19 years since I had my confirmation. I had my confirmation on the 14th of May in 2000, so that's a long time ago. And now it's my youngest cousin who has his, and I'm not religious and they're not religious, so it's more of a tradition-bound thing today than it is because we're religious. It's just a part of our traditions. We do this, I guess. And the fun thing is we're also going to be at the church that I had my confirmation. I grew up in the city that they live in, so that's going to be a little bit fun getting back to that. I do like that church quite actually, and yeah, so it's going to be pretty fun, I think. Hopefully, I mean, I think it's a little bit boring going to church, but yeah, sometimes if they have a good reverend or vicar or whatever, it can be pretty good, and hopefully that's the case here. And afterwards we're gonna go to their place for lunch. So yeah, this is my update. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Good evening. It is now 10:15 and I'm on my way to bed. I haven't read anything since I last spoke to you. Oh, well, I did read a little bit from Fear No Evil. I read the prologue and the first chapter, I guess. And it definitely starts off pretty. You see a murder, and from the victim's perspective in the prologue, and then you start the investigation right after that. And it apparently changes perspectives between the investigator and the murderer. So I'm interested in seeing how this is going to go. So far it was easy to read, but I read like 20 pages or something in those 15 minutes. So yeah, that's all I read today. When I came home, I thought about reading, but I was extremely tired, so I ended up taking a nap at 8 o'clock, and then I watched the Stitch and Bitch Life for a show, and it just ended. So now I'm on my way to bed. Wow, this angle is a little bit freaky, I'm sorry. I'm just really tired, so I can't really focus on staying up. Also, I haven't really talked about my hair since I last spoke to you. I've had my hair dyed since I last, not since I last spoke to you because I spoke to you this morning, but since I last vlogged, I have had my hair colored. I was supposed to only get my roots colored, but then I also got a toning in because my lighter parts had become a little bit yellow. So I had a toning that will make it a little bit more natural looking, but still definitely different than the start of it. So you can still tell the difference, and I'm really, really happy with the result. And the change, like this up here is the same color as I had done in the beginning. I'll just sit up. This is the same color as the one I had when I got this hairstyle in the beginning. But when they changed the product line they have at the hairdresser, and the way that it clings, the other ones, they clinged a lot harder to your hair, so there will be blotches of, it was really, really, really dark, like unnaturally so in the beginning, and then it will start to fade slowly. Whereas this doesn't go as hard on your hair, so it looks a little bit more natural, like a natural brownish color. And I thought that is pretty nice. And the change in color is also in a more natural flow now than it was before. It was pretty abrupt because I haven't done anything to my hair in a while. So I'm really happy with that. Yeah, as I said, I haven't read anything else since this morning, because I've watched the Stitch and Bitch live show, and it was quite nice catching up with that. Even though in the beginning I was thinking I might have to just bow out now because I couldn't really follow along with the conversation because I was so tired, and I wasn't also in the part of the conversation in the beginning because the topic, they'd already started it before I started watching the live show, because I wasn't on there for the minute it started. But I caught up to the topic a little later on and just basically just watched it and listened to these girls talk about books and stuff, and it was nice. Anyway, I've had a really fun day with the family and stuff, and had a lot of great food. My nephew is sort of, because he's the age that he tends to be a little bit shy around people he doesn't know, and very, very wants to cling a little bit to those he knows, in the beginning at least. But then my aunt's brother, who I know quite well because when they have birthdays, they usually tend to invite both sides of the family in one gathering, and so we've always thought it was really nice talking to him. Anyway, he was so good with my nephew. My nephew was obsessed with him. But also I remember when we were young, when we first got to know my aunt. My aunt is 10 years older than me, so I've always looked up to her so much because I thought she was so pretty, and she was just the best person ever, and I just wanted to be exactly like her. And when she came into this family, and when they had got married, my aunt and uncle got married, I remember so much how much we were kids. I was 12 when they got married. So I was like, I'm one of the oldest of the girls. I'm not the oldest. I'm sort of, all right, I'm in the middle part, but we all loved my aunt's brother, because he has such a charisma about him, and he's so good with kids. And he was already then, before he was like a dad and stuff, he's like a couple of years older than my aunt, but he's just so amazing, and he has something about him. He's just so easy going and easy to talk to and easy to get to know, because he's so down to earth and like really, really have his feet on the ground, just as much as my aunt does. And that's why I guess I really, really, really always have liked him. And so I guess my nephew saw the same thing, and I thought it was really funny to see that. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, that was a little bit funny. I think I was actually home at 7:30, 7:45, but I was so tired. I watched half of a YouTube video, then fell asleep while watching it, and I decided to press pause because I was really interested in that video, but I was so tired. Took a nap, and then watched the Stitch and Bitch live show, and that's what I've been doing right now. I'm not as tired as I should be, but I guess that's because I took that nap at a bad time. But I may go try and read something. I'm not gonna read from a Kindle, because like reading a thriller book right before you go to bed is not a good idea if like there's a lot of things happening, in my opinion. So I might read something from Valhalla. I started it yesterday and read the first of the Valhalla novels. You can just see the last page here. These are the panels. I adore this series. It's the last and final collection of these graphic novels. It was Valhalla 13 out of 15. So yeah, getting close to the end now. And this was so good. I think this is one of my favorite. It talks about Baldur's death. You all know how they talk about Loki tricking Baldur to something, and he's hit with the mistletoe that kills him. Kills Baldur. But I think they put a really nice spin on that mythology. And usually always Loki is the villain, but he really tried his very best in this one to prevent things from happening, because he didn't want the wrath of the gods, because he had a bad nightmare about how that would turn out if he was the reason that Baldur died. And so it was really nice seeing the story, and it also featured his Baldur's brother, Høder. I don't actually know what he's called in English. Høder is the Danish name, and he is blind. And yeah, I just really, really liked his story. I thought the way he was treated was a bit sad, because like Balder treats him as this invalid because he can't see anything, so he keeps explaining things and saying, oh, but you can't see, I'm so sorry you can't see it. I was like, oh, don't do that to him, it's so unfair. Don't be like, let him enjoy his moments and let him say what he feels instead of saying what he should be feeling. Or he, like, yeah, it was weird, but it was a really, I thought the story was so well told, and I think it might be one of my absolute favorites now. I mean, the favorite is still Quark's story in Valhalla 4, but this one really is close to those two. 4 and 5 is a continuation of a Quark story. But 4 and 5, and then this one and the first one, I guess, are my favorites. And I'm happy that it's still on such a strong note now. So I might read a little bit about the myth until I fall asleep. So I can see why they decided to bring this spin on it. And this is my favorite. I love this edition because you get to know the real myth and why. Because you don't only get little snippets of the myths. You don't know everything that led up to it and why did this happen in this way. And I just like the fact that they use this and try to make it to a story that works with the myth, because I think they always stick pretty true to the mythology and make it a really good story. So I was happy to be reading that. Also, another exciting thing I haven't told you about. I know I'm rambling a lot and I've already been talking about 12 minutes, but my nephew is named after a book. He is called Buster. Buster, I guess you'd pronounce it Buster in English, but Buster is his name. And he got his name from the book Busters Verden, Buster's World, which is a little story about a young little boy, a bit flamboyant, but who wants to be a magician, and is it's just such a magical little story. And it was also adapted into a movie back in the middle of the 80s, and so we all, my sisters and my brother, my sister's boyfriend, we all grew up in the 90s, obviously, and this was a really big movie, kids movie back in the 90s. And I think we watched it in Danish as well. I think we watched this, and it's just such a well told story overall. But the book has not been reissued from the publishers in so long, so you can't find this book in any stores anywhere. And since my nephew was born, I have been looking and searching and all over the place for this book. And yesterday, me and my sisters were at this outlet store thing where people have things that they don't need anymore, like a flea market. But this was only with kids stuff, so Kids to Kids is what the name of the store is called. And so my sister was basically looking for clothes, and because I'm a bookish person, I walked around also looking at the books that were on the bottom shelf, and I found Busters Verden, the book, and I was so incredibly excited and showed it to my sister. I was like, oh my god, look at this. And she was like, oh my god. She's not really a bookish person, but she knew the value of that because she knew that it was not easy to find and that it had not been any editor, like from any publishing houses in so long. And so it's quite of a unique book. And it was in a pristine condition, like it looks like it has never been read through at all, which is kind of sad, but and it cost only like 25 kroners, which is the same as, I guess, about $5. That for us, that's very little for a hard copy. So we were super excited to find that. If I had gotten there by myself, I would have bought it and handed it for his birthday next week. But I already bought another present for him. But yeah, that could have been a fun present. But since I was so excited, I shared it with my sister immediately. And she bought it and took it home with her. And now I really want to read the book. Because I don't think I've actually ever read the book. I've only watched the movie adaptation. And I really want to read the book. Because obviously I'm a books person. So I should read the book. Anyway, this was my very lengthy update, and yeah, see you later. Bye. Hello friends, it is Monday, and I just came home from work. I wanted to show you that I got some book mail from Book Depository. So let's get started with opening these. The first one is the timely one. It is the group read for this week's readathon. Oops. Once and Future by Amy Rose Capetta and Corey McCarthy. I've never read anything by any of them before. But yeah, as I said, this is Sword in the Stone retelling set in space. Hopefully it's really good. I also got a book. The designated bookmark looks like this. It's a Frankenstein inspired bookmark. So I might actually start out with this one today, not because I don't already have something going, but because this is a group read and it could be fun to actually read it with everyone else and participate in the read-along. The other book that I got is also exciting, but I won't be able to get to that one until a bit later. I'm planning on trying to get to it in June actually. And it is The Faded Sky by Mary Robinette Kowal. If you follow me recently, if you watch my recent vlogs and videos, or my wrap-up for that matter, you know this was the first book in this series was one of my favorite reads of the month, and it's one of my favorite reads of this year. So I'm really looking forward to reading the sequel, so I hope I can get to it in June. I won't have time in May, but hopefully June will be okay for that. And also I adore these paperbacks. They are floppy and just how I like them, and the font is a nice size, so they're so easy to read. And the designated bookmark is this one. I already have this one. It's called The Squirrels Who Squabbled. Yeah, I already have one of these. I didn't have the Frankenstein one though. But that was the book mail for today, or for this next hopefully long period of time, because I'm trying to cut down on my book buying, at least until I've bought my own house. So now you know that. Also, bookish updates. Today I started and finished Haunting of Tramcar 15 by P. Jelly Clark, and sadly didn't live up to my expectations. I had really high expectations, also because Rachel from Kalanadi has absolutely loved it. And I don't know what it was. Maybe I was not in the right mindset. Maybe I expected something else. And the audio narrator was not very good, but I was never really completely immersed in the story, and so I ended up probably giving this 3 out of 5 stars, and I'm a little sad about that actually. It has gin magic, and which is also something I thought I really enjoy. So sort of a different type of magic system, and that part I really enjoyed, but it didn't really do what I wanted it to, I guess. Yeah, it's an alternate type of Cairo, but I also see that this is probably set in a world that's already been established in previous short stories by Clark. So I don't know if it would have been a different matter had I read other parts that was set in this world, but it followed this agent called Hamed Al-Nazar, and they're sort of investigating this possessed tram car. And so yeah, there's a haunted tram car and all of that. It sounds so super fascinating, and I was just really into it, but it didn't deliver as much as I wanted to. So that's a little bit sad. Other than that, I have started on An Offer from a Gentleman by Julia Quinn, and this is like a Cinderella retelling. All of the others has not been retellings in the same way, so I was a little bit disappointed actually. I don't know if I really want a Cinderella retelling in this type of series, but I kind of like it, but it also means that it's very easy to guess where it's gonna go. So yeah, I don't know. It's okay. I didn't love it, but I'm looking forward to reading on in the series. Nonetheless, this one follows Sophie, who is a bastard. She is not the her father got her out of wedlock. And so when he remarries another woman, this woman has two kids and instantly take a hating towards this girl because she notices that she is in fact his daughter, even though she's been brought up as though she was taken in from the street. So he's taking care of her, even though he looks exactly the same, but no one mentions anything about it. But the minute she steps into the house, she becomes the evil stepmom, that trope. And so she is the servant of them, basically does everything for them. And then they go to this grand ball and they meet that the Bridgertons are hosting, and there she meets Benjamin Bridgerton, and that's basically where I am now. They're at the ball and all of that. But good so far, so good today. But I'll check in with you with another update later. Hopefully I have read more from one of my books. So we'll have to see about that. Anyway, see you later. Bye. Good evening. It is now much later. It is 10:20 and I'm almost on my way to bed. I'm just waiting for my video to finish uploading. Anyway, since I last spoke to you, I have listened to a lot from the Puppy War. I think I listened to about an hour. Then I read for 45 minutes of this, and I managed to get to page 37, and then I remembered I had to upload my Monday reads, and I am always falling asleep. I think it says right now that it is ready for upload. So I'll leave you now and talk to you tomorrow with more updates. And yeah, bye. Good evening, my friends. It is now Tuesday at 10:15 p.m. and I just went into bed. I'm a little bit cold. My reading today has not been very much. Yesterday, I met my daily page goal, so that was a good day. Today, not so much. I don't know how many hours I listened to today. I don't think I listened as much as I have done with other books, but I haven't read very much since I got home. And Puppy War, I listened to a little bit more. I'm 91% done with that one now. I'm really excited about my progress with that one. It's definitely coming to an end. I think yesterday I had about an hour and a half left, and now I think I have less than an hour left. I think I'm on maybe 50 something minutes left, so I think I might actually finish it tomorrow. So that's good. But I have only read 10 pages from my physical book pages. I'm sort of liking Enough from a Gentleman. I'm not enjoying it as much as the previous two books. I do like Benedict for the most part, who is the male focus of this, and I definitely also do like Sophie. I didn't like the Cinderella retelling part of it, and I'm not sure. I think something is going to come up soon that I didn't listen to today that I'm not going to appreciate. So I don't know how I'm going to be feeling about this one when I finish it. But yeah, that's what I've been reading today. I managed 10 pages of Once and Future before I fell asleep. I've been dealing with headaches this evening a lot. I don't know when it started. Quite late today, not long before I had to go home from work. So I almost bowed out of my gym session, but I decided I needed to go to the gym because I need to get back to my habit of going 3 times a week, because I gain weight again and I didn't want to do that. So I was in a really good zone, and then I skipped the gym for 2.5 weeks, and that shows. So I went to the gym. It was a difficult time at the gym today, but I managed to get through it. And sometimes it does help and you feel better when you get home, but today I didn't. So I took some pain meds as I had dinner, and it always makes me super, super tired And because I'm also in pain, I don't have it easy. It's not easy for me to focus on reading. So yeah, right now I've gone to bed. I'm going to try to read a little bit from Foundry's Side, which I brought with me, because I'm already into this magic system, and so it might be easier for me to read this. And I haven't read from it yesterday, even though I actually wanted to. So I'm going to try and see if I can read something from that before I fall asleep, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, that's my update for today. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Hello, friends. It is Thursday at 10:30. I'm on my way to bed. This is going apparently my norm now, that I just check in right before I go to bed. That's been like the norm for the past many weeks. I feel like today I finished The Puppy War by R.F. Kuang, which I've been working on all May. So it's not part of this TBR, but I'm happy I finished it so I can focus on something else. The Puppy War was definitely not what I was hoping for it to be. I was pretty much disappointed with it. It started out okay, in my opinion. It started out intriguing. I do tend to enjoy academy set books that takes place in a training facility of some kind, and this is that. First and foremost, starts out with follow Rin, who is comes from this poor part of the world or the realm, and she's been brought up in a family of drug dealers who's been treating her really, really badly. She managed to escape a fate that would have left her to marry someone she really didn't want to, and go train to become part of this war academy that trains war soldiers. And she perfects like all of the theoretical tasks, like all of it. She perfects the trials, but when she gets there, it's not as easy as it seems. Everyone hates her because she's like from another world. It's a place filled with noblemen. All of the rich families have people there at the academy, and she finds out that they've been training all their lives, so she's lacking a lot in that, and so she has a really hard time getting around. She also finds out that there's some stories going around about magic, about shamans and people able to wield magic, and she feels like she's trying to seek more knowledge because she finds out herself that she has some sort of magic. And yeah, my main issue with this book as a whole is probably that her character, like there's some people calling her character inconsistent, and I might see where they come from, but that's not what I think. I think that she stays more or less the same throughout the book, because she's just a power-thirsty person throughout the whole thing. No matter if it's for the training at the academy, if it's like, I don't mean that you shouldn't be able to challenge yourself or believe in yourself that you can do great things. It just becomes a problem when you become so obsessed with the fact that you need to be the most powerful person so you can stop this one, so that you can kill all of these people at once with just one snap of your finger, and it's never really a good thing. And how does she decide who is the better? But she also doesn't know how to do anything by herself. Like, she doesn't know how to make a decision. She always waits for an order or something, and that just doesn't really connect very well to her other part of her character, I guess. And yeah, I just had real issues with that. But there were some of the side characters I like, but overall, because you are listening to this from her perspective, I just felt like it was a real a real drag for me to pick it up. I really didn't look forward to listening to it, but I did try to listen to something every day to push myself to get through it, because it is one I wanted to finish and wanted to read. I'm sad I don't like it, because I think we need this type of representation in books. I think we need authors who write these type of mythologies and with these sort of East Asian inspired fantasies is something that I think we lack a lot, and I would love to see more of it. I'm just sad that it didn't deliver what I was hoping for in terms of the character, because character development is one of the most important things in my opinion. I much prefer in-depth characters rather than plot. I would much rather have some characters that I can root for, that I can connect to in some way, whether that being their culture or their personality. I don't really care just as much as I can understand where he or she is coming from, or they are coming from if it's non-binary. It's so difficult for me to read. I had a really difficult time putting a rating to this one, because there's also a lot of great things. I think this part of the world building I find really, really well done, and I think passages were really great. But overall, it just felt super flat for me, and so I ended up giving it 2.5 stars. I don't know if it's rough, but that's where I am, and yeah, I couldn't figure out whether it was a 2 or 3 stars, but I felt like it was not a 3 stars, so I put it on a 2.5 stars. So yeah, I guess that's how it's going to be. Another thing that I have finished, I have not finished more today. I made a lot of progress in An Offer from a Gentleman, and so far this one proves to be not my favorite either. I don't know what it is about books this week. It's been like a bit of a drag. Hopefully it changes now, but the thing is, I didn't much like the Cinderella retelling part, but that pretty much stopped after the first little section. Now it's more like just what I wanted it to be, but our main character, or our main male character, Benedict, is acting like a pretty terribly right now. He's had a few issues. I've had a few issues with him over the book so far. There were some places where it's like, oh well, he's understanding where she's coming. He's understanding what she's saying. He respects her decision. He can see where. I actually honestly thought that he changed his mind about what his possibilities were with her, but he didn't. And now, yeah, I know I still have like 40% left of the book. No, 30% left of the book. I'm 68% into it. But yeah, I love Sophie. Sophie is quite an amazing character in my opinion. I didn't like, as I said, I didn't like the Cinderella part in the beginning, and she becomes a servant and all of that, and she comes out of that, and then she later on meets Benedict upon a chance meeting, and he doesn't know who she is. He doesn't remember her from the ball where they met previously. So he takes her in to the Bridgerton household to become a maid, lady's maid, instead of a servant. So she's like higher in the ranks because he feels like he has to do something for her because she saved his life. And yeah, I would have preferred like they would have met like that, and then not necessarily have the first part of. I mean, I understand she had to have the horrible stepmom thing, but not necessarily meeting like earlier. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where this is all gonna end up going. But she's definitely keeping a lot of secrets, which I understand, but it's definitely going to cause some conflicts later. So I don't know what to say about this one either. Currently, I'm on a 3 to a 3.5. I like it more than Poppy War, that's for sure. I think because there's definitely moments where I'm really, really into this book, and I do enjoy Julia Quinn's writing. I just wish she would be better at writing men characters sometimes. I had a few issues with Anthony from the second book as well, and the first one actually. He was also in the first one, and I didn't really like him there either. I thought Benedict was good before I got into his mindset. Otherwise, I have started on Soul Music by Tara Pratchett. I started it after I finished Poppy War, as I was still cooking, so I managed to get 55 pages read from that, and I'm already pretty much enjoying it. I don't know where it's gonna go yet. But it's something to do with a girl called Susan, and so far she is talking to a raven who sleeps on a skull. So yeah, I don't know. It's way too early to say what this book is going to be about specifically, but I'm very much looking forward to it. And I have also made progress in the Foundry side today. I'm read up to page 204, so I guess about 30 more pages or something, so not a whole lot, but I read for like 45 minutes and I read the 30 something pages, and that's fine. I enjoyed them. There's definitely a lot of things happening in that, and I am very much looking forward to see where this is gonna go. I'm about 40% into this book now, so things are definitely happening, and I'm looking forward to this continuing of this. So yeah, this is my update for now. Bye. Hello, it is Thursday. It's almost 11 and I'm on my way to bed. Tomorrow is a holiday day. It's a bank holiday in Denmark. So I have the day off. It's a long weekend. And tomorrow is my nephew's birthday. Have I mentioned it already this week? I possibly have. It's exciting. Right now I'm trying to find some, looking a little bit at old pictures of him just to see how much he's grown since he was born. Like, things happen, like things change all the time with him. He is developing so quickly, and there's always something new, and I'm looking forward to seeing him tomorrow. I haven't seen him since last weekend. It doesn't seem like a long time, but it is with him because he changes so quickly. I still haven't wrapped his present yet, but I will do that tomorrow morning. No, yeah, probably after I come back from training. I'm going to a gym training session tomorrow at 10. Very specific. Anyway, I am on my way to bed. Tomorrow I don't have to get up early, so I'm going to be reading in the morning. I haven't read very much today. Today at work I didn't listen to very much more than the audio for the driving. But I did manage to finish An Offer from a Gentleman, and I liked how it ended up. I liked the ending of it. I thought that she wrote a pretty decent last 30%, 40% of the book I really enjoyed. There were passages I didn't. There was the beginning I didn't. But I really liked Sophie's character, who is the main character. I think I might land on a 3 stars for this one. It is definitely my least favorite of the series so far. I think 3 to 3.5. I don't know. Maybe it will be a 3.5 because I did enjoy parts of it, but there were some places I really didn't like it. So I don't have my best track record with this readathon so far. I have a 2.5 stars. I have a 3.5 stars. 2 3.5 stars. That's it. I have also listened to very little of soul music, but so little I don't think I haven't found my page count for it. I didn't do that yet when I came home. And I have read maybe 5 to 10 pages in Foundry side. So that's what I've been reading today. Like very little, so I'm behind. Hopefully I can catch up a bit tomorrow, at least on the physical pages. I don't know how much audio I'll get in. We have to see. I do have to do some stuff at home before I have to go to the birthday. At least I'm hoping to do that. I think I will get through some audio tomorrow, and yeah, I do have 3 days more to read. I think if I'm not doing super well, if I'm not close to finishing some books on Sunday, I am going to be starting on Bingoathon books on that day because it starts on Sunday. We'll see. But this is my update for now. I will talk to you tomorrow when I'm more, hopefully not as tired as I am right now. And yeah, bye. Hello friends, it is now Friday and I'm on my way to my nephew's birthday. He is obviously turning 1 today, and so it's very exciting. And today I've managed to read, I think, maybe 50 pages of Foundryside by Robert Jackson Bennett, and I have listened to a little bit of the audio soul music. That's about it. I'll talk to you later. Hopefully, if I remember when I get home. This was just a really short update. Bye. Hello friends, it is now Saturday. I forgot to check in with you yesterday, but yeah, I don't know why. I am just going to check in with an update again. I've made progress in Foundryside. I'm on page 284, and it's really good. I really like it. I enjoy the magic system so much. It's really, really interesting. I don't think I'm gonna finish it. I still have this much left, and I don't think I'm gonna get through that today. I may bring this one once in future with me later, and hopefully I'll manage to get through this. Then I have made progress in Soul Music by Terry Pratchett. I am on page 177. Of this one. I think it's about 400 pages long, so I'm about halfway. It is 378 pages long, so yeah, I think I'm about halfway through it now, and I'm very much enjoying it now. It's weird. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not loving it as much as Reaper Man, that's for sure, at this point in time. I don't know, it could change. But the thing is, it follows two separate storylines again. They did that before with Reaper Man as well. This one follows Susan, who is I think Death's granddaughter, and she's supposed to try and take over, learn to take over his job. I guess I don't know why, because I feel like Death is like immortal and stuff. But you know, it's definitely something to do with that. And then we follow another part, which is set more or less in Ankh-Morpork, and it's about Cut Me Own Dibbler and the ape, the librarian, and a couple of others whose names I've currently forgotten, that are forming a music band. And it's something to do with the message, music is immortal thing. But the two storylines, they don't really connect right now, and I'm not sure how it's going to flow or weave in together later. And that's probably my issue. The only issue I have currently, because I do enjoy those storylines by themselves. I think they're pretty funny. I do prefer the one with Susan, but the rock and roll stuff is pretty funny as well. So hopefully it will change over the book, but currently it's not my favorite. But I think I'm definitely gonna give it 4 stars. I think it's gonna be really, really bad if I give it less than that right now. So yeah, right now I'm currently in the process of making some lunch. So I have a toaster on because I want cheese and ham toast, and I'm just gonna get myself a cup of tea as well. And very soon, like after I eaten this, like in 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, I am going to pick up my brother, because we are, at least the two of us, are gonna go to the cinema and watch Marvel, the Avengers Endgame, finally. I mean, I feel like I'm the last person in the universe to watch it. My brother has already watched it once, but asked me if he wanted to go with me so I could watch it. He was like, yeah, sure. I mean, I liked it so much I want to watch it again. So yeah, but I didn't know if I find it annoying to be with someone who's who've already been watching it. But I'm so used to that right now, because I've been so behind on Marvel movies anyway. So yeah, we are gonna go watch that it starts at 2:30 and it's 1:30 now. After that, we are gonna go to I'm gonna go and eat at my parents, because I could just as well. So that's why I'm gonna go and pick up my brother, because he's like, well, if we're gonna go back afterwards, when couldn't you come and pick me up? And I was like, yeah, sure. He picked me up last week, so for something else. Now we're just waiting for my sister to figure out if she wants to join us. But yeah, my sister does want to watch it. It's just that she doesn't know if she's to spend time with her boyfriend today, or if he wants to go with us. And she's like had all day to figure this out, but we still haven't heard from her. So I'm a little annoyed about that, actually. I mean, I feel like she could have called him and figured it out a little bit sooner, so we didn't have to think about that as well. We'll see. Anyway, this is my update for now. I'll check in with you later. I said I'm gonna pick this book along with me and bring it with me to my parents' house and see if I can't read something. It's Eurovision tonight, so I don't know how much, if I'm just gonna watch that a lot, but usually if there's a bad song I could maybe read. I don't know. We'll have to see what ends up happening. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.